Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe, they've been on a bit of a hiatus over the last week or so. They weren't in studio over the last week, but today they made their return to the show. And of course, they were going to lead off with the big comeback win, the historic comeback win that the Lakers had against the Dallas Mavericks just yesterday, right? So they were talking about it, and I think to begin the first segment, they asked the duo, what are their thoughts on the Lakers and how good do they really think they are? So as Shannon Sharpe began to speak, he was actually surprised me. He said he doesn't really think they're good and all these different things, but whatever. Then he started to say something about the reason he doesn't feel that the Lakers are going to be good is because of LeBron James's injury issues. And that caused Skip Bayless to push back and begin to question the legitimacy of at least the argument that Shannon Sharpe was putting forward in terms of the injuries, and it got pretty fiery between the two of them. So what we want to do is we want to play this exchange for you quickly, and then we're going to come back and really unpack this thing. Now take a listen to this there.
Back into the ball game. But I'm looking at LeBron, Skip, and I think everybody can see he's hobbled. He doesn't have the same explosiveness. And I noticed it that night when he broke the record against the OKC Thunder. Every time he came out of the game, he took that shoe off. He's continued to do that. They have the Theragun, and they're working on the bottom of that foot. It looks like the arch. It doesn't look like the ankle to me. It looks like the arch. Something is going on with the bottom of his foot, which is causing him to hobble. And then you watched him after the game. That does not look like a man that's 100%. So they cannot contend for a title with LeBron being less than 90%. Anthony Davis was a monster yesterday. That's the AD that I need to see. 30 and 15. Jared Vanderbilt played great defense on Luka Doncic. Challenged everything. Jumped out in the passing lanes. 15 points, 17 rebounds. 4 or 5 steals. You could live with that. But I'm not about to all of a sudden say, okay, I got my playoff tickets already lined up, because I don't believe that. I'm going to need to see more, and I'm not going to know. I need to see LeBron James' health over the next month. Because what they got, 22 games, 22 games, 21, 22 games?
2 left now after yesterday.
22 games left. I need to see LeBron. It's just hard considering the way he was hobbled yesterday. And to watch him leave that stadium, man, it's just hard to see that LeBron is going to be able to play every single game.
Position of strength, and I can't get it straight. I hear on the ESPN telecast, it's his hand, then it's his foot, then it's his hand, it's his foot, it's his ankle, or it's his underfoot. I don't know which one it is. I guess he's just beat all to hell.
Well, you saw in the All-Star game, he tried to block a shot, and he went up there and he jammed his finger in the rim.
Since we haven't been on for a week, I got to address that. Can you please explain how your man LeBron James in an all-star game was trying to chase down block players in a game in which nobody plays defense and everybody going to the rim thinks that they're pretty much uncontested going to the rim? Yeah. Because it's a complete ambush in an all-star game to come from nowhere and swat a ball on a game in which nobody is even thinking about playing defense. And then maybe the basketball gods got even with him for those ambush blocks in an all-star game because he got his hand stuck up in the net and he hurt his right hand shooting finger and didn't play the second half. Although it didn't seem to be a big issue coming out of all-star break because the Lakers didn't list it on the injury report or make it a big deal. Okay, so now in the 2 games he has played since the break, he has shot the ball by his all-time leading scorer standards. I would have to say poorly.
No, by anybody's standard, they're poor.
Because it's 15 of 43. That's 35% just from the floor.
Correct.
This is LeBron freaking James, right?
Yes.
Okay, from 3 so far, with the 1 of 6 yesterday, he's 3 of 12 from 3, which is 25% coming out of in the 2 games since the All-Star break. That's 30.8% for the season. It's just not very good because it ranks 143rd in the NBA. It's near the bottom, 143 out of 149 qualified three-point shooters. Okay, so I will give you that, but I don't know that that's being attributed to his hand injury or his foot injury, because even after he tweaked his foot, and he did tweak it, and weirdly, he yelled, "I heard something pop."
So you heard Skip and Shannon go at it. There, you heard the exchange. Now, let me give some context. Let me give some background to this as to why Skip Bayless is saying this. As y'all know, Skip Bayless is the biggest LeBron James critic in all of sports. He has been that way for over a decade now, right? Strong. He's been really, really critical of him. However, here's the reason I believe Skip said that. Skip is saying that because of what has happened with LeBron James in the past and injuries coming at, opportune moments. If you go back 2 years ago, when the Lakers were trying to make a push to get into the playoffs, where they ultimately ended up playing against the Phoenix Suns, there were these reports that LeBron wasn't healthy, right? And Shannon Sharpe was one of the people covering it. He's not healthy, he's this and this, and then one day he will say he's healthy, and then one day we heard he's training and all of these different things. And it's like, okay, is he healthy or is he not, right? There was that situation. Then there was a situation, if you can think of the one that was pretty pronounced, the one that happened in the finals, when I think LeBron, allegedly the report was, he punched a wall or something like that and fractured his hand or broke his hand, something like that. And then I think it was at the end of the series, he came out with a cast on his hand. And people were like, what the hell is, even Chris Broussard was like, okay, that's a bad look. Then you go back to the time with him in the Cleveland Cavaliers, that Delonte West issue saying LeBron had to be sedated. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And I think that's what Skip was pointing to, like, wait a minute. Is this another excuse? Now, as someone who watched the game, LeBron seemed to be in legitimate pain. And I think even after the game, just the way he was kind of limping out of there, he seemed to be in pain. And the commentators, these guys were set. I don't know how they became doctors all of a sudden from the sideline. Well, the way he's moving, to me, I don't personally know if LeBron is injured or not. I don't know, right? I don't know. However, this Laker team seems to be pretty good, right? At least pretty good enough to make a push. And I think that what people like Skip may be a bit trepidatious about is that maybe people like Shannon may use it as an excuse to say, well, you see, even if the Lakers make the play and they don't play well, he's like, well, you see, he wasn't injured. He was injured. He had this problem, he had that. And that's why Skip was saying, is it his hand? Is it his foot? Is it underneath his foot? Is it his ankle? What is it? Right? And that's where they kind of had the back and forth between the two of them. To me, I don't know. Right? I don't know. I just know that what Skip was pointing to was based on things that have happened in the past. And as someone that's seen kind of videos posted about it on Instagram, I've read some of the comments and people are like, ain't nothing wrong with him, right? That's what some people believe. There was nothing wrong with him, and others do. So personally, I don't know, but I just think that that's what they were arguing over. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you on the next show.